Hey Gabe, do you know who this is? This is Alan Frog from the movie The Lost Boys. Sometimes this happens that a portal will open up and I'm able to talk to people in the real world, and usually it happens for a very good reason. And in this case, I think the reason is that I'd be very careful about going to Santa Carla. Be very careful. There's a lot of vampires there. Let me just try to, I'm straddling two realities here, but I just want to tell you that the movie was more of a documentary than a movie. There's vampire activity up there, and it's part of the reason why the Frog Brothers have relocated our headquarters to an undisclosed location, because Santa Cruz is what they try to call it, Santa Cruz, but it's Santa Carla, and it's crawling with vampires. You want to go up to the grandpa's house, as they call it, Poganip. Guess what? You can get up there, but when you do, I would always be aware of vampire activity. Currently, I believe there's actually some homeless folks there, and I'm not inclined to think that any of them are vampires, but I do think that a situation like that can be a smokescreen for vampires. Vampires love it when there's chaos and when there's things aren't. You don't know what they are. They love it. That's when they swoop in. So that's what I want you to be careful of. Also, the comic book store. Not too long after the movie, the comic book store was taken out by the powers that be. It was an earthquake, but let's be realistic. There was some undead activity involved there. And so the comic book store has moved, and the owner is still the same, Joe. But be careful. Joe is a good guy, and they're all good guys over there. But when something changes like that, when something is in one place and then has to be moved to another because of some sort of force majeure, that's when you got to be careful of vampire activity, because that's what they love, vampires. Okay, so that's that. Now, the other thing I want to say is that the boardwalk, the path that they took from the boardwalk through the woods and the bluff, just be careful, because they go one direction and they end up coming back another direction. Why is that? How can that be? I need an explanation for that. So, I don't want you to take it into your hands to stake any vampires up there, but I want you to be aware. I want you to be aware so that you don't end up the next, I don't know what, victim of vampires. Listen, Gabe, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't recommend going. I think it's too dangerous. I think it's a risk. It's a risk you don't need to take. You're a kid, I think. Some sort of kid. You're a kid at heart, certainly. I wouldn't take the risk. Cancel your plans. But if you do go, I want you to be aware. That's all I got to say. Have a good trip if you go, but be aware.
Years ago, I was in the hospital and on heavy medicine when I watched on a portable DVD player The Lost Boys, directed by Joel Schumacher. Ryan Hollinger says the film deals with adolescence and youth and the dangers of growing up.
They're just normal kids with overactive imaginations inspired by the personas of their pop culture heroes.
Since first experiencing this film, I wanted to live out the adventure of the Lost Boys and cherish my maturity. That is why today I'm going to see if I can Lost Boys myself in California's own Santa Cruz. I began at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, but it was closed. I had this bit plan where I would ride a roller coaster with a straight face and then say it was thrilling, but it didn't work out, so that's fine. It's fine. I then went to Olita's on the pier. I got a beer and a burger and enjoyed the dazzling view of the ocean. I tried to do this small-brained American reaction shot here of how good the food was, but I kept having the food hanging out of my mouth, so that sucks. It's fine. I then went to Bay Company, which had all these neat little trinkets, like Santa Cruz merchant shot glasses and this sick bike. And then I went to the original Lost Boys house. I parked my car in a sketchy area and began to walk to the house. The hike made me feel like I was on a mission, like the episode about Manusos in Pluribus.
My name is Manusos. I want to save the world.
My name is Manusos Oviedo. I am not one of them. I wish to save the world.
It was cool. The house was cool.
All 4 windows. Yeah, boy.
I then went to Atlantis Fantasy World, which was featured in the film.
Take this. I don't like horror comics.
You'll like this one, Mr. Phoenix. It could save your life.
And even got an interview with the owner, Joe. He told me I only had 5 minutes, so I was quick with my questions.
What can we do? How do you want to start this?
Yeah, so just to begin, just introduce yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Joe Ferrara. I am the owner of Atlantis Fantasy World. We are the premier comic shop in downtown Santa Cruz. And this year, in 2026, we are celebrating our 50th year in business. We started in '76 with a little funky store, and we were in our original location until the '89 earthquake. And we were one of 45 businesses that relocated into the tent pavilions the city constructed. We were told we'd be there 6 months. We were there 3 years. We were the last business to leave the tents. We moved into our current location here on Cedar Street across from the Red Room the day after Thanksgiving in 1992. So this is our 34th year in business in this location. All told, 50 years. And of course, while we were in our original location, our store was used as one of the sets for the Lost Boys film.
Awesome. Congratulations on 50 years.
Thank you. How did we get involved, right?
Yeah.
Well, Hollywood has come to Santa Cruz over the years and filmed other films. So Clint Eastwood did Sudden Impact. They did the Bumblebee film. They've done other films. But the Visitors Bureau has a person who's a liaison between Santa Cruz and Hollywood. So they came to town with the script. They knew they wanted to have certain scenes, and if they couldn't find the right locations, they'd have to create them. So, for example, Sam's mother goes to work in the film at a video rental store, which they don't exist anymore, but at those days they did. Well, there wasn't one, so they actually had an empty space on the pier, on the wharf, and they created the video store just for the film. When they found our store, they liked it. It was a large building that had been a grocery store, kind of like a Shopper's Corner in its heyday in the 50s. And so they were able to move their cameras up and down the wide aisles and everything, and they liked our store. So Hollywood came to town. The Visitors Council knew we existed. They brought them to see us, and they said, okay, we would like to use your store. And that's how we made the initial contact. The actors we saw during the shooting, well, let's do it this way. They only shot in our store 3 days. It was 3 Saturdays. And they had a crew come in on Friday and build a fake wall out in the gutter outside and put Laughing Sal in front of that wall so that when people walked by, it looked like we were on the boardwalk. We never were. We were a quarter mile away. 40 years later, people still come to town looking for us on the boardwalk. We were never there. And the reason they had to do the shooting that way was they shot the beach scenes for the bonfires at night when it was dark on the beach at the boardwalk, Monday through Friday, but the boardwalk was open later on Saturday and they didn't have enough time to do their setups and get their shots. So they filmed on the beach Monday through Friday, filmed in our store on Saturday, put the fake set up on Friday, tore it down on Sunday, and did that 3 weekends in a row. And that's how we got involved.
Awesome. That's all I need.
That's all you need. Well, one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my God. He told me I only had 5 minutes, and then he pulls his power move on me for speaking for 6. I'm just kidding. He was a chill guy.
So we never knew. We never got a script in advance. We never knew anything. All I saw was 2 teenagers walking around going, we fight for truth, justice, and American harmony. Oh, this is going to suck. What did I get myself into? I never saw anything else other than until I saw the film. And then we thought, oh, this is actually kind of fun. The fact that it doesn't take itself seriously and it crosses generations. A lot of cult films, if the parents like it, the kids go in another direction. This movie reaches the whole family. The Boardwalk shows it to start their Friday night summer series movie on the beach every year. Last year they had like 2,000 people on the beach to see the movie. They made it in '86, so this year is the 40th anniversary of when they shot the film. Next year is the 40th anniversary of when they actually released the film. And one of the actors, Jameson Newlander, who played Alan Frog in the movie, has become a friend of the store, and every year when they show the movie on the beach, he comes to town. So watch the Seaside Company, see when that's going to happen, and then come meet Jameson the next day in the store. He loves to meet his fans and sign the books. And this is the prop comic. It was never a comic book in the movie. It looks like a real vampire comic, but it wasn't. They took a vanity female detective comic, put a fake cover on the outside, and put these 2 pages of artwork on the inside. We replicated that, plus we put in photos and stories that I tell about what some of the things were that happened while they were shooting. So that's what this is. This is a prop replica of a book that was never a real comic. We sell this for $20. This is a graphic novel collecting a 6-issue real story of a real comic. This is the story that was supposed to be the sequel. They made 2 terrible sequels. Don't waste your time with them. They're awful. This is a great story, and in this book, Sam goes to work in the comic store with the Frog Brothers. And at the very end of it, the author, who's a friend of mine, had the vampires kill me off. I'm lying in a pool of blood dead at the end of this book. So these are the 2 things we have. We have other things, little magnets and stuff like that. So thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Come visit Atlantis.
Thank you.
I bought the original replica of the comic book featured in the film, which Joe signed for me. I sat and listened to Jesse, the street performer, while wondering, had I lost boys myself? No, there was one final step. I had to hunt a vampire.
Who dares disturb my slumber?
It's the Frog Brothers, a-hole, and I'm gonna kill you, you bloodsucker.